Hello everyone, how are you doing? I am doing well. This is another vlog. I've got a couple things to open for my P.O. box, but I just kind of wanted to check in and let you know what's going on in my life because I haven't vlogged in such a long time. My life has been chaos. And I know I say that all the time and you're like, Danielle, your life can't always be chaos. It can though. My life is perpetual nonsense, I swear to you. So, as you guys know, I went on a vacation. Well, I guess you might not know, but I went on vacation with mother-in-law. Just me and my mother-in-law. Just me and my mother-in-law. We went to London for 3 days and Paris for 3 days, and then it was like a day of travel back and forth. And so, getting ready for that trip, I was in overdrive mode working, which you're probably like, well, I was looking at your channel, Panzer, and you didn't have very many videos during that week, so I don't know if I believe you. Listen up, fam. My life was insane. So, as you know, Intel sent me that new processor and the new hard drive, and I was very excited to put them in my computer. So, I looked it up, and the motherboard that I had was compatible. It wasn't the same chipset. Like the new processor was a 270 chipset and the old processor was a 170 chipset. So I have a 170 chipset motherboard, but according to EVGA, there was an update available so that you could just flash the BIOS and it would be compatible with the new processor. So yes, I'm so excited. I'm not going to have to reinstall Windows. Everything's going to be great. Well, take the processor out of the motherboard and totally freak accident, like no one's fault. It was not my fault. It wasn't Intel's fault. It wasn't Origin's fault. This is just the kind of stuff that happens to me because I'm very unlucky. There was just a break in the seal of whatever, like there's a process with processors called delidding, which is kind of where you take the back off the front and replace the thermal paste with something higher quality to ensure that if you overclock it or whatever, that the heat is distributed properly. But that never happened in my processor, so I have no idea why it came apart like that, but it did. No pressure or anything, just came apart. So call Origin, they're super great about it. They're like, okay, we'll replace it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, it's not a huge deal right now because I'm putting this new processor in. Everything is going to be fine. They're like, yeah, that sounds great. Put the new processor in and nothing happens. Not kidding, nothing happens. So I contact EVGA, we find out that can't flash the BIOS with an incompatible processor, can't flash the BIOS with no processor because of the type of motherboard it was. So we end up taking the processor out of Nick's computer, which was almost the exact same processor that I had that fell apart. Get the computer booted up, everything is great, everything is working fine, flash the BIOS, take the processor out, put the new processor in, nothing happens. Like it wouldn't even load to the BIOS screen. Just donezo. Nothing happened. So now in this complete state of panic of like, well, actually, now that I think about it, it did boot. But it was not recognizing the M.2 drive, which is where my operating system was. So it would boot to the BIOS screen, but then nothing else would happen because it wouldn't boot. It did not recognize the M.2 drive, and that was where my operating system was. And so it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare because I couldn't just reformat another hard drive to put an operating system on it because it wasn't prepared to do that, which again is my own fault. But this is the kind of stuff that happens to me. So I call EVGA on the phone with them for a while. Turns out some sort of in just some fluke thing, there was some software incompatibility freak bug glitch thing that rendered my motherboard inoperable. So now, in trying to just quick swap the processors in and out, no problem, I've broken my processor and I've broken my motherboard. And now it's like, even if I have this new processor, I have no motherboard to put it in, and any motherboard I order online is going to take like 5 days to get here. So I'm just in a total fret. Well, Origin is amazing. So they're like, don't worry about it, Panzer. We'll take care of it. We're going to send you a new processor, a new motherboard. That way you can flash the BIOS. It won't happen again. It's going to be great. Don't worry. So they package up a box of stuff, send it to me, and I wait a couple days. I'm like, oh, this is going to be fine. They said they overnighted it. It would only be like a day or two. Everything's fine. And 1 day goes by, and 2 days goes by, and on the third day, I'm like, hey guys, I'm not trying to be like, obnoxious or anything, but do you have maybe like shipping numbers or something? Because it's not here yet. And so they look up the tracking number, and the post office or UPS, whatever, shipped it to the wrong state. Like I live in Rochester, New York. They shipped it to like Rochester, Idaho or something. I don't even know. So like that huge box of very expensive computer parts got shipped to the wrong address. So they managed to intercept it and try to reroute it to me, but in the process, it started snowing heavily. So now the shipment is delayed because of the snow. So they decide, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to reroute it again back to us. We'll send you a new box. So now we're on like 6 days of no computer, and I get the new box, and it was like, I knew it was going to be a 170 chipset, but like, it didn't dawn on me how afraid I would be to go through this whole process again. So after all was said and done, I ended up doing a little Google research and found out that there's this awesome baller computer store right in my area that had a 270 chipset motherboard in stock. So after all was said and done, I ended up going and buying a motherboard and then reinstalling Windows, which is so obnoxious because why did I wait for 8 days? Like, why did I not think I don't even know. Like, I have nothing to say for myself because that was the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life because I could have just done that from day one. And in the process of all that happening, I had already pre-filmed like 3 videos. So I was in a great place. So I edited out the videos on my laptop and we're all good. But then the day my computer was finally functioning again was not the day before I left, but the day before that. So I only had 1 full day to handle my, nonsense before I had to leave. And then while my computer was down, XSplit had an update and the new software update was like wrecking my computer and I could not figure out because it wasn't like I manually updated it. I had to reinstall it because like I had to reinstall Windows. So it never dawned on me that it was this brand new version. Oh my gosh. It was such a nightmare, guys. It was such a nightmare, but we're all good now. Computer is functioning. I have this new motherboard that I bought that was very expensive. It was like $300, $350 with the processor that Intel sent me. And then my sister is using the other motherboard and processor because otherwise it would be sitting in a box doing nothing and I can't sell it or anything like that. So she's very excited. And back up, not that I would sell it. That would be a super shady thing to do. People always ask me like, what do you do with all those parts? I literally this past year, I gave my brother a full computer. I mean, granted, that was a Frankensteining of all the parts between mine and Nick's, but still, it's good enough to run like Overwatch and WoW and stuff. Like, it's got a pretty decent i5 in it. Wait, I gave my sister a computer. Then I gave my brother-in-law a computer. I gave some spare parts to one of my friends. I gave my friend Steph a computer. Then I also gave my sister a motherboard, processor, and solid-state drive. Like, it's not like I'm sitting around on computer parts. Like, I try to be, like, if I get blessings in life, I would like to pass them on to other people. So like, I don't want you guys to think that I'm like sitting here hoarding computer parts, but most of the time when I get computers or computer parts from companies, I'm not legally allowed to like give them away. Like, so it's kind of like they're on loan to my friends permanently. If I ever had to give them back though, like I would have to give them back. I don't know if that makes any sense. I probably said some stuff there that's going to get me in trouble, and please, companies that sponsor me, I'm sorry. I was just trying to be honest with my pals. So that is why I only had 2 videos out, because it was just a nightmare. And then I also, like, I work well under pressure, but I don't work well under stress. And those are 2 very different things. Like, having a deadline and working towards a deadline is something that I function really well. And if I have a schedule laid out, I'm very good at sticking to, like, my schedule and getting things done in a timely fashion. But by the time my computer was up and running, it was, like, 8 p.m. And then I left, like, not the next day, but the day after that. So I only really had 1 full day of work, and I had 8 or 9 days worth of work to do in 1 full day, which meant that I really got nothing done because I was so like frantic about everything I was trying to do that what I chose to do in that situation was I edited out 7.2, 39 things about 7.2, which took forever. I have no idea, like, well, those videos always take a long time anyways. Like, the type of video like 39 things about 7.2, generally those videos take about an hour per minute of just editing. That doesn't include, getting all ready and stuff, because truthfully, getting camera ready can take me 2-3 hours because I'm a mess underneath all this makeup, trust. But, I have to get ready. I have to shower. I have to deal with my hair after I've showered. There's a lot that goes into it. And then also filming for something like that, that's about 2 hours of raw footage. So all in all, the whole video will take 24, 30 hours to do all together. But so I spent like all day on that video. And then I tried to do another video and it didn't go very well. So I went back and edited the other video that I had already filmed. And then I was like freaking out because I didn't have another video. So I tried to do the XSplit thing. That went badly for me. Now we're here. So if you're wondering what was happening and why I didn't have videos last week, trust me, I was upset about it as well. So I went to Europe, and I was very proud of myself because I didn't work while I was there, which I know that sounds really dumb, right? But since I started YouTube, I've never not worked. Even when like I got married, I think I took a whole whopping 1 day or 2 days off of work. When my dad died, I was still doing a lot of work behind the scenes because being busy like helped me cope. So this is like the first time I've ever taken a trip that wasn't work related, that I didn't work while I was there. I did not vlog while I was there. I took pictures and stuff, but I would have taken pictures anyways, and I would have posted on the internet anyways, whether it was my personal or fan pages. So I was really proud of myself for actually kind of taking a vacation, but you know, it was still, it's almost stressful for me to not work. It's so bizarre. But while we were there, we had a great time. The first day that we arrived in London, we were planning to do the Louvre, no, that's Paris. The first day we arrived in London, we were planning to do, we got tattoos. So we walked around this kind of like touristy area, and then we had an appointment to get tattoos, and I got this, oh, I don't really know how to show this on camera. This is an awkward place to have a tattoo to show. Oh God, maybe if is this helping? This is an awkward place to try to show a tattoo, but it's one of the keys from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. The one that he actually catches as a broken wing, but I didn't want a broken wing, so I didn't get a broken wing. And the guy did a great job. I got this done in London at Portobello Tattoo, and the tattoo artist's name was Claudio. He was amazing. If you go there, be like, I saw the crazy pink-haired girl on YouTube, and she told me to come here, and he'll be like, oh God, her again. But my mother-in-law got a tattoo too. She got an English tea rose, and that was a really good time. We were super tired, so we went right to bed that night. And then the next day we did a bus tour of, like, you know, the bus tours that show you all the sightseeing stuff. And then we got off the bus tour and did the Tower of London tour, which was really fun. We didn't do a guided tour. We just walked around ourselves and had a blast. And then after that, we got back on the bus and went back to our hotel. And the next day we were supposed to go to the Harry Potter place, the studio, the Universal Studio Harry Potter thing, but neither of us realized that even though that is advertised as being in London, it is not in London. It's like 45 minutes outside of London, which is kind of awful if you're a tourist, because then you're looking at like $100 cab, $100 Uber, or like taking trains and switching. So we got really flustered about it, and she was going to do that for me, and I kind of made the call that I didn't think it was the right thing for us to do. So instead of doing that, we decided to go to the Wax Museum in London, which was an absolute blast. If you get to do any of those wax museums, do it, because it's so fun. And then we did the London Eye, which I hated because I'm very afraid of heights. I do not like Ferris wheels. And not only was it a Ferris wheel, but it was like claustrophobic because there was no airflow. It was like glass on it. I hated it. I was like staring at my phone the whole time because I did not want to look out. I didn't take any pictures. I didn't like it at all. But I did it, and I didn't complain or anything because I didn't want to ruin Chris's time. And after that, we went to Piccadilly Circus, which I was really bummed I didn't know existed prior, because Piccadilly Circus reminded me of Manhattan. That's the only other way I can describe it. It really reminded me of Manhattan, and I would have loved to go around and shop and like just kind of see all the sights, but it was very late by the time we got there. And then I know one day we also went to I think the day we did the bus tour, in the evening we went to Traglafer, something like that, where there's like all these big lions and there's the embassy building and stuff. But yeah, so we saw quite a bit of London, and then we took the Channel, the Eurostar, from London to Paris. And the day we got into Paris, it was Sunday, and we had planned to do the Louvre. And I didn't make the plans. Chris made the plans, and neither of us knew that that's free on Sundays. So when we kind of like swung by to see what was up, awful. It was awful. There was so many people. And then, of course, there was the, like, terrorist attack the couple days before. I use air quotes because, like, this is going to sound like a nasty thing of me to say, but what kind of, it wasn't organized terror. No organized terror group sends one dude in with a machete. Like, that was a crazy guy. He might have been a terrorist sympathizer, but that was a crazy guy that did not accomplish anything, really. Anyways, so we go there on a Sunday, and it was awful. I mean, like, just lines and crowds and people, and we sort of reevaluate the situation, and I'm like, Chris, why don't we just go out to dinner tonight? We'll go walk around, do a little shopping, and we'll go do the Louvre a different day. And she was like, well, we can't because we had Disney planned and blah, blah, blah. So we ended up reorganizing our whole schedule there, because that was the theme of this trip, was like reorganizing all of our plans, but everything worked out great. So the next day we went and ate dinner, and then just kind of shopped a little bit and then went back to our hotel. The next day we ended up doing a bus tour of Paris, which was really fun but very cold. It was very, very cold, but it was worth being cold for how good the views were and stuff. We saw like the Eiffel Tower and Notre Dame and Arc de Triomphe. Arc de Triomphe, I think that's what it's called. And it was fun. And it was an audio tour. So like instead, like our London tour, there was a guy on the bus who was 120% over me because like I'm just like dad joke number 4. Like I'm so obnoxious. So he was just not interested in me at all. Like he wanted me to get off his bus. So it was nice having the audio tour because like, you know, it was just earbuds. Nobody could be annoyed with me. So got a bunch of really cool pictures. And then what we did was we got on the bus at the Louvre, rode it all the way around the circuit, and then got off at the Louvre and did the Louvre in the afternoon. I think I'm saying that right now, but I'm not sure. I don't say anything right. I loved that museum more than words can say because we went on a Monday, and it happened to be the first Monday of the month, meaning that the day before that, it's free because it's free the first Sunday of every month. So I think we possibly went on like the deadest day ever. It was amazing because we were told, you know, when you go, you're not going to be able to see the Venus de Milo. You're not going to be able to see the Mona Lisa. You'll be able to see them from really far away, but those areas are always packed. Don't get your hopes up. Oh my God, that was not the case at all. It was totally dead. We were there for like 3 hours and saw, I mean, I'm sure we didn't see everything, but we saw a lot. Like we walked the whole floor. I was so excited because I found the portrait of Joseph Decroux, I think his name is, and he's the guy that's like, hey! And I was excited about that because I found out that that was a self-portrait. Like I always thought that meme was very funny, but then to find out that is a self-portrait, like that's how he saw himself. Like that guy's my hero. I like want to be his best friend. I just feel like his mixtape is just fire. I don't know. Like he seems amazing. So I was so excited. And then we saw all these like statues. It was really cool. And I like was being such a troll, like posing with all the pictures, doing what they were doing and just having a blast. And then we got to Venus de Milo. There was no line. We were right up next to it. Like no problem. We got up to the Mona Lisa front row, no problem, saw everything. So it was amazing because we got to see all the things we wanted to see. It wasn't overcrowded. It was so great. So if you're ever trying to do the Louvre in Paris, definitely try to go the first Monday of the month because it will be dead. And I think it actually wasn't as dead as it could have been because I guess the week we were in Paris was a week that a lot of people are on holiday, like kids don't have school and stuff. So it actually would probably be even less busy on other days, but it was an absolute blast. That was one of the highlights of my whole trip. Then after that, we went to dinner and then we did some more shopping because that's what I do. And then the final day we decided to do Disney, which was Tuesday. And we went and did Disney Paris and it was a whole lot of fun. We did like one ride, but I wasn't there to do rides. I just wanted to see it and take pictures. And I was hoping to be able to meet some of the characters and stuff, which I did because I've been to Disney a few times and I've never gotten to like take a picture with any of the characters or princesses or anything. And Disney Paris was really different than the Disney in the States. It was much smaller. I was also surprised at how much active construction you could see because I feel like in California and in Florida, they're so obsessed with the magic and the experience that everything is very well hidden if they're doing any sort of renovations. But like, no, just active construction things, whatever, everywhere. Like nobody cared, but everybody was having a great time. I also thought it was strange that none of the people said have a magical day, which I understand a lot of them are just kind of not fluent in English, but like just kind of speak a little bit of English, but still have a magical day. I was expecting to hear that and nobody said that, but I got to meet Pluto. So I was really excited about that because now Pluto's like my favorite guy because he was on his break and he just stopped and took a picture with me and was so nice. And we did we did the Indiana Jones ride because I thought it was going to be like the Indiana Jones ride in California. It turned out it was a roller coaster with a loop-de-loop. So that was a hilarious adventure for me and my mother-in-law to go on the roller coaster with a loop-de-loop. But we did the whole park and the Disney Studios and saw pretty much everything. And I mean, we were only there for like 4 hours. It's very small. Like it's supposed to be like 4 sections of a park and then a second park. But oh my God, it's tiny. It's teeny tiny. It is a quarter of the size of Disneyland in California, maybe half, but it's really small. You can definitely do it in one day. And again, it was totally dead because it was like cold, but I didn't mind because I don't really like hot weather, so I was fine with it. And then we went home, and it was a very long flight home. It was like 9 hours from Paris to New York, so I was happy to be home. I was very tired, and I haven't felt good since I got home because I actually have a this is like so weird, but I've had a hiatal hernia since I was about 12 years old, which basically means that where your diaphragm is, where it's supposed to keep all your organs out of your like esophagus and stuff. Sometimes my stomach, like when I'm very stressed or I don't know, there's a bunch of things that can make it like flare up, but my stomach gets like stuck inside of my esophagus. It hurts so bad. It's not even like heartburn. It feels muscular. It feels like getting stabbed with something very dull. It does not feel good at all. So I kind of had an issue with that like the day I got home, and I think it was just from being like cooped up on the flight and like the time zone, just stress in general. So I got home and I was like totally ready to work, and I spent like all this time. I went to bed early the day I got home, and then the next day I got up and I worked for like 16 hours. It was insane. And I don't know why I waited until the end of the day to film, because that was very stupid of me, because filming is one of those things that you have to be high energy. You need to be at your peak and like ready to nail it. And I wrote all day and I had meetings and I was reading and doing all this research, and then like the end of the day came and I was like, oh yeah, I have to film. And like the video I put up on Friday that I filmed on Thursday, I was like so out of it. I was so out of it. It took me like over an hour and a half to film that video because I just could not spit out words. So, and then yesterday I was kind of giving myself a little bit of time to relax. I wrote some stuff. I had another meeting, and then I did Wowhead Weekly. And then I kind of took the evening off. And then today I finished up writing some more stuff. I already filmed How to Fly in 7.2, filming this vlog now, feeling good, getting stuff done because I leave again on Monday. Today is Saturday. I leave on Monday. I am going to the Full Sail University Hall of Fame Week celebration. I'm very excited to have been invited. They're bringing me down there to kind of do like social media coverage or whatever, and I'm so nervous. I just want to do a good job because, I don't know, I take sponsored deals from other companies like games and stuff like that occasionally, and for every one I take, I probably turn down 10. I'm not kidding. Like I don't take a lot of sponsorships, but Full Sail is always one that I've felt really, really good about taking because, you know, it's like, oh, like somebody might go to school and like then land their dream job. Like I have no problem like promoting education. And I know I saw some comments that were like, oh, blah, 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 for-profit schools. And, you know, I wish it wasn't the world we live in, but it is, that all schools are for-profit. And I, you know, all of them, whether they're state schools or community colleges, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like people are making money off of your education. No matter where you go to school, you're going to have student loans. It's just the nature of the beast, I guess. And, there was someone else that was kind of ragging on. They're like, oh, they probably just accept everybody. And I don't have an issue with open acceptance schools. I don't know why that's something anybody would have an issue with. If you want to go back to school after a long period of time that you were out of school, like someone like me, where I haven't been in school in 8 years, 9 years, something like that, I don't feel like the grades that I got in high school are relevant to where I am now in my life. Like, I probably don't know a lot of the things that I learned then. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with an open acceptance school. I think it's one of those things that with anything in life, like if you're going to go in and you're going to give 100% and you're really going to try, like you're going to get something out of it. But if you go thinking like, oh, this is just an online school, no joke, I think you'll end up failing and doing poorly. And that's not a reflection on the school. That's a reflection on you. So I don't know. When I first started working with Full Sail University, I did a bunch of research and I was just flabbergasted by how many people I found that had these amazing careers. And I looked a lot into like people who did like animation and CGI and stuff like that. And there's a word for that. It's like 3D modeling. I can't really remember, but people that work for Disney and Marvel and HBO and like just all these things. And like a lot of people get degrees there for like stuff involving music and entertainment. They go on to work with Beyonce and Justin Timberlake, and just I have seen so many people who have gotten degrees at Full Sail and then turned around and had amazing careers. So I have no qualms at all like being that bridge between someone and, you know, possibly what could be landing their dream job. I feel good about it. I don't feel bad about it. And I don't know, I'm really, really excited that they invited me to go, and it's going to be really fun. It's kind of set up like a gaming convention. It's like 4 or 5 days long, and there's gaming tournaments, both like video games and like tabletop. There's they have a DJ, they have film screenings, they've got like a robotics display, they've got an art gallery, they've got all these like hands-on workshops, they've got panels and, you know, sessions and Q&A stuff and meet and greets, and then the whole thing wraps up at the end of the week with a huge like red carpet event that leads to a big fancy banquet where they honor the 6 inductees of their Hall of Fame, which is basically 6 people who graduated from Full Sail University that now have baller careers. So I'm very, very excited to be invited, and I just want to do a good job, and I hope they feel like I did them justice, because I'm very excited to be able to work with them. And this isn't sponsored, and just telling you what's going on in my life. So I leave on Monday. So this is one of the videos I'm filming ahead of time. So if you're watching this, it's the future. Anyways, what else? I think that's all the things. So I haven't been able to raid in like 2 weeks. I have no idea what video games are like, because I haven't really played video games at all. Because when I said I took the evening off last night, I was done with Wowhead Weekly stuff at like 8 p.m. and I went to bed at 10. I was so tired. So yeah, but before I go, I did want to open this stuff that was in my P.O. box. So the first thing I'm going to open, I want to say I know what this is. I think this is, ooh, maybe not. Maybe it's this one. One of these, oh yeah, okay, this one is from a company that was like, hey, do you want some, I'm sorry, hold on, I'll talk after. Okay. They were like, hey, do you want a couple of our t-shirts? We make these t-shirts. And I looked at their website and their t-shirts were awesome. So I was like, heck yeah, I would love some of your t-shirts. So they sent me, I think, 3 t-shirts. So let's see what they were. They come in these, it's Tea No Evil is the name of the company. And they come in these really cool paper bags with plastic things. And again, this isn't sponsored. They did send me the shirts for free, but it's not like they're paying me to put them in a video. That's just not how it works. Hold on. Let me open these because they're going to be loud to open. But these, there's a pin in there. Okay, so when you open the package, there was kind of a postcard. And it says, hi, Danielle, thanks for the partnership. Aw, that's so nice. And there's also, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this, but there's a 10% off code. It expires in a year. No, it's a little less than that, 6 months. And it's code CLAIM. So if you decide to buy anything from them, use code CLAIM and you'll get 10% off. But they had a lot of cool t-shirts that were like Walking Dead and Game of Thrones. And they let me pick out 3. So this is the first one I got. And it's kind of like the Monopoly design with Negan. And then, I don't know, if that's Rick. I think it's Rick. And it says, go directly to Alexandria. You lost. Pay half of your property. It's really cute, right? I really like it. And then the back has their logo, Tea No Evil, which I'll definitely be wearing that because that's amazing. There was also a button in there, a pin with a Walking Dead design on it. I really like these little packages that they come in. This is really cute. I'm a sucker for packaging in any way, shape, or form, though. I like it when things are packaged nicely. This one also had the pin in it. I don't know if it had a postcard, too. That might have been my postcard for the whole one. This one is a Game of Thrones shirt. And it says, Bastards Ale, We Know Brewing, Winter Flavor, Northern King Co. Isn't that cool? It is. And then on the back, it's got their logo, Tea No Evil. These are both smalls, I think. Let me look. They might be mediums. Yeah, these are both smalls. The first one might be a medium. I asked them for a small and a medium in my order because that way I would... No, I think they give me all... Maybe not. I'm not really sure. Are they both smalls? I think one of them is a medium because I told them to let... Oh, yeah, the first one is a medium. The second one is a small. They're pretty close, though. I kind of float in between a small and a medium depending on the company. So a lot of times when companies will send me stuff, I'll ask for one of each so that I can decide in the future. This one also came with a pin. This one says Shred Jitsu Dojo. So I assume this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Because ninjutsu, oh, I love this shirt. This is a shirt that is like a Banksy with the Walking Dead mashup. So it's Daryl. Isn't that amazing? It is. That's so good. And on the back, it says, Tea No Evil. So these shirts are all amazing. He's like throwing a zombie head. That's such a good shirt. So if you guys are interested, that is teanoevil.com. And if you use code CLAIM, you'll get 10% off. I just hit my elbow. I also don't know if I was supposed to tell you that code, but I did. What are you going to do about it, Tea No Evil? They're like, probably send you no shirts ever again. All right, so the next package I got is from badassleggings.com. This is not anybody I've talked to before, so I don't know if someone sent me stuff from badassleggings.com or if it's just the company did. These are amazing. Okay, hang on, plastic. These don't have a note or anything in them, but they're amazing. They are all the Dalmatians from 101 Dalmatians. I wish I had had these when I was at Disney last week. These are so good. These are so good. Oh my God, those are fantastic. Wait, speaking of leggings, Wild Bangarang sent me a new pair of leggings. Let me show you. How amazing are these? They're the new Sylvanas design. Yeah, they're awesome. They awesome. Oh, my hair's in my mouth. Okay, and the last thing in my P.O. box is from Amy. It's from Amy. I probably shouldn't just like put her last name on blast. What is in here? Looks like jewelry. Looks like handmade jewelry. And we got a letter. All right. It is jewelry. Panzer, my husband and I are Warcraft and TradeChat fans. We actually met in Warcraft 12 years ago and have been together almost 9 years. That's adorable. I'm a gamer girl myself, and I've always wanted to do something Warcraft-inspired outside of the game world, so I started making Warcraft-inspired jewelry on Etsy. I sent you a few of my designs. My store name is Jewelry by Verine. That's V-E-R-I-N-E. Verine is my WoW character's name. I also started a YouTube channel, Fail or Win, where my husband and I try Pinterest projects. So far, they've been fails, but we've had a lot of fun along the way. I hope you like the necklaces. I always look forward to seeing your videos. Love, Amy/Verine. So yeah, also, if you do decide to go to her Etsy, which is Jewelry by Verine, she gave me a code that's repeat17 that'll give you 15% off of a $20 purchase. So that's a thing that I probably wasn't supposed to share with you, but I did. Listen, don't send me coupon codes if you don't want me to share them with my friends. What am I supposed to do? Okay, this is awesome. This is awesome. This reminds me of like very orcish, very orcish horde inspired. Ooh, I just touched my mic. That probably wasn't a good noise. That's the first one. That's super pretty. Oh, these are really cool. This was not what I was expecting these to be like at all. There's the tweezers on my desk. I don't even know why. Oh my God, I'm so droppy today. I've been dropping everything. It's like I have butterfingers. I wish I had a butterfinger candy bar. All right, the next thing in here. Oh, this one is, oh, Jesus. Did we not survive? All right, this one might not have survived. Oh God, okay. All right, this one was an Alliance one, and my mailman murdered it. My mailman did, in fact, murder it, but it was definitely an Alliance one with like an arrowhead. I can put it back together though. That's not a problem. I have a whole jewelry making drawer of things, and it's only like 2 beads off, so I will definitely be able to put that back together. I just can't show it to you very well right now because it's right there. Although when I put it back together, I might give it to my sister a perk because screw the Alliance. It's not my life. All right, and the last one we got, is the same one but Horde. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, I love the pendant on this one. It's gold, and it's got like an arrowhead with some stone in it. And it's on like a nice like gold tone chain. These are really nice. These are really pretty. Oh, I love that arrowhead. Thank you so much, Verine. Thank you so much. So those are all the things in my P.O. box. I really appreciate all the things, guys. Once again, the t-shirts were from Tino Evil, and the jewelry was from Jewelry by Verine on Etsy. So yeah, I am going to go continue getting ready because I have more stuff to do. But thanks for watching my video and hanging out with me and listening to me ramble for a while. I'm going to go. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.